soon. I'm out here on the fire escape once again. We got some people barbecuing down there. That's cool. Some pretty fly stuff right there. So yeah, my homeboy, good friend of mine, hit me up on Instagram. I won't say who it is just in case, you know, just for discretion purposes or whatever. But you know, a good friend of mine, very deep and thick in this urban culture of ours and all of that. I'll say that. And he noticed. He's telling me, he's like, "Oh, you support a rat now?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" This nigga says because I hit like on a 6ix9ine video on Instagram, right? So we having this long exchange on Instagram about why and what it means to hit a like button and all that. And I'm telling my man, like, yo, I hit like buttons on anything. Like, I'll be videos going against me, I'll hit the like button on it. For the most part, a lot of times I hit the like as a means to categorize something in case I gotta go back to it. You know, it happens that way on YouTube anyway. If I gotta categorize it and go back to it for research purposes, video purposes, or whatever. Instagram, I don't really know if it works that way, but it's just my habit to hit like on something. But I don't equivalate, I don't equivalate hitting a like button or a heart to that support. I really love what it is. Usually if I consume some content, if I watch the video, it's almost like ritualistic. I'm gonna hit the like button just on the strength of me watching it, right? But you know, it spawned a whole little mini conversation that been meaning to do a video, and I probably will do a full-length video with all the bells and whistles about. But I have what I believe is a bit of a unique opinion in regard to Tekashi 6ix9ine, him getting out and his brand of snitching that he did and how people feel or how you're supposed to feel. That's the big issue I have with. I have an issue when there is like this set way that you're supposed to feel about something, and if you don't fall into feeling that way about it, oh, you know, you're going against the norm. Well, guess what? I go against the norm anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone the fact that he testified against people in his gang that he took an oath not to testify against. In no way do I condone that and say, oh, that was right or that was okay. I don't, the very worst thing that he did in that situation that I don't condone is him setting up his man to go and shoot at, which I believe was for the purpose of scaring him. I don't think he set his man up to actually physically shoot the people. His man Kuda to allegedly shoot at Chief Keef and his cousin, whoever. And then after they say that dude that he set up to do that did do that shooting, 6ix9ine is gonna testify in court and admit that him did it. He's the one that went and let off them shots at that person and I set it up and everything. That's probably the most vile out of all the things that the little goofball motherfucker did, to be quite honest with you. But it isn't as black and white, you know, because I was someone that was actually following the case a little bit here and there. It's not as black and white as, oh, he snitched, he sent everybody to jail, he goes home. For example, Shotty, if I'm understanding correctly, he would have likely went to jail with or without 6ix9ine having been nabbed up or whatever, right? Kuda B definitely is getting charges based on 6ix9ine's direct involvement. What is it, Harv and Nuke that allegedly kidnapped him telling on them, whatever they got, whatever time they got or are gonna get is a direct correlation of 6ix9ine snitching. But there's a couple other ancillary auxiliary players in the game that I also think caught some charges that would have caught those charges anyway. What 6ix9ine did is he made shit hot, which I also don't condone. What 6ix9ine did is he got that organization into way more trouble than they needed to be getting into, to him, to the bag, whatever you want to call it. But they were holding him down. And because of that, they ended up getting into a lot more trouble and getting charges put on them due to a lot more things. And in fact, as the wheels turn, I believe Shotty probably did go down in direct response to something that was involving 6ix9ine, because he got charged with some shit that was based on 6ix9ine, based on 6ix9ine's involvement, beefing with rappers and shit. Whether 6ix9ine allegedly, his information got him locked up or not, if 6ix9ine wasn't part of that equation, that charge would have never happened. So now I don't condone all that. But here's kind of a little bit of the switch, the caveat to it all, in my opinion. The kid been a scumbag. Like, I have no problem with outrage on him snitching. That's not really that big an issue. But it's like, where was the outrage when he snitched the first time? Where was the outrage when he was in a room with a 13-year-old girl doing some type of sexually explicit acts with her? To me, that's worse than everything. Where's the outrage when he told on one of his peoples that was at that situation? And then that paperwork came out. Where was the outrage when the gang that he ended up becoming a member of, when they welcomed him with open arms, even though the paperwork was out that he was doing whatever to a 13-year-old girl, and that he told on somebody that was also involved in the situation with the 13-year-old girl? How come there was no outrage then? I don't know how many videos I've done on 6ix9ine basically calling him out for being a scumbag, but the thing is, I put it in perspective. I go through the timeline. What is it, Scumlord Dizzy or Drizzy? Dizzy, I think his name is. Shout out to him. That was one of the people that first put 6ix9ine on, helped him out and everything. Got him, his first little videos and his push and all that. Had a crew just like how Treyway was with him. Had the Crips down with him and everything. Give him a little validity and all of that type of stuff. And what did he do? 6ix9ine, that is. Shitted on them. Stole their video camera, as I understand. A thief. People that's holding you down, that's helping you out. You're stealing their video equipment. And these are things that I've been talking about ever since I learned about these things, like well over a year. I talked about the Scumlord Dizzy thing. I talked about the charges with the little girl or whatever. Even if you didn't know she was 13, there's a huge amount of years between 13 and 18. Even if you thought she was 16, you still know that you shouldn't be rocking out like that. You telling me that 13-year-old girl looked 18? These are all things that just add up. So basically the point I'm getting at is I'm not outraged at the notion that he snitched on this other gang. You know why? Because I already wrote him off as a goofball. That was already kind of obvious. As soon as he got bagged, it was like a no-brainer he was gonna tell. He'd already been written off as a goofball, as a grimy-ass cat, as someone that's gonna turn on his peoples. So it's like, that's no surprise to me. And if you really want to be real about rappers, your big-time commercial rappers, isn't 6ix9ine beefing with Snoop Dogg now? Based on some paperwork of Snoop allegedly snitching and telling and all that? Can we go through not like 20 different top-tier rappers that have some suspicion of doing a similar type of activity like that? That people hit like buttons on and listen to the music of all day? To even take it a step further, how about your R. Kellys that people still spin even though he done did the worst thing in the world? And then another side to the situation that a lot of people don't really like to talk about is the lack of loyalty. Because when people say they get mad at snitching and all that other stuff, when you really break it down to its roots, what you're really saying is you're upset with that lack of loyalty. You made an oath, you declared you would do this, and if y'all go down, y'all gonna go down together. You're not gonna tell on them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna stay loyal. It all comes down to loyalty, right? But here's the trick that a lot of young people don't learn, or a lot of times they don't tell you. Oh, snitching make you clutch your proverbial pearls over snitching. But do you know that most current day street organizations, gangs, crews, whatever, commit acts of disloyalty on a similar or worse level all the time? Where's the outrage for the man that turned on his man over some money and killed him? He didn't snitch on anybody. He just deaded his man for the bag. Or due to a lack of respect, or to something else, or or just whatever stupid shit that could have been resolved in a much easier way. His own people's. I'm not gonna speak any specific situations. Anybody that follows, a lot of this bullshit going on, you may be privy to some of the shit I'm talking about. But that alleged killer, because I ain't saying anybody killed nobody, we all just speculating here, right? That alleged killer, he don't got like a bad name on him like that. And in fact, in a lot of circles, he's respected, he's heralded, you know what I'm saying? For having killed his own brother. Is that not just as bad or worse than snitching? Is that not just as disloyal? Because like I said, that's the root behavior that we're getting at, is the disloyalty. Now, in this 6ix9ine thing with the crew, I'm not even going to say that one of his mans had sex with his baby's moms and all that. That's all alleged. I've heard things, yay and nay, that kind of support both as being true, that it could have happened, could not have happened. So I definitely can't say that. However, that behavior, we can say, does happen a lot of times. People sleeping with their man's girl and all that, boom, boom, boom. They supposed to be blood thicker than water and all that, loyalty and all that other fly shit like that. And shit like that happens. They kill their own people for money. They turn on their own people. They double cross, triple cross, whatever. Bang each other's women's and all that. That's very disloyal. Setting people up to kill them and all that type of shit. That shit's very disloyal. So the streets in the current incarnation, by and large, is a very disloyal, cutthroat type of place to be. Where is the outrage for the older gang members that set up the young, bright-eyed wannabes to do dangerous, risky crimes that they themselves do not want to take the risk to do, and have them go do it and put themselves at a greater risk? Where is the outrage for that, for leading the youth in such a bad direction and leading them into your darkness? We could even take it on another general level. The outrage for just pumping poison in the very communities that raised you, that you grew up in. That's not being loyal. Even if the other people aren't necessarily your gang members, it's your gang members' uncles and fathers and mothers and everybody. It's still your community. You're not going to the suburbs. Well, sometimes people do go to the suburbs, get in, but where is the outrage for those that poison the hood for money? So you're disloyal to your brothers and sisters that's around you for money. You'll kill off a direct member of your clan, your crew, gang, whatever, for money. That seems just as comparable to someone that will snitch on their gang member for not doing several years in prison. All of it's fucked up. So the lesson is, sure, outrage for somebody snitching and all that, but please put it and keep it in perspective and recognize the streets as a whole ain't shit. by and large, ain't shit and is very disloyal. It's a myth, as the young dude that I think may start snitching said in his song. You know what I'm saying? So that's my issue. Citing just this one type of thing and just blowing it up. It's on the other stuff. It's almost like saying, oh, we snitched, that's so bad. Oh, but killing your gang people, that's cool. And doing this, that's cool. And blah, 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 blah. All that other shit is cool, but just don't snitch. No, all of it is fucked up. The streets need an upheaval. It's toe up from the flow up. It needs a whole revamping. It needs infrastructure. It needs rules. What happened to the laws of community laws of not pumping poison in the very hood that raised you, that brought you up? What happened to that? And the disloyalty is what fucks it up. And the disloyalty is also a large component of what a lot of people praise. Praising the one that got a whole bunch of bodies. Their people or otherwise. You know, the one that did this or got it in this way and that way. It's just praising destruction, basically. You know? So if we're going to focus and look at one type of activity and say that shit is ass, get both cheeks in there. You know what I'm saying? Get that whole brown round up in there. From the crack, the left, the right, the side, the under booty. Get the whole shit in there, because the whole shit is ass right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about that. So, to my old boy, if you watch this, that's a much detailed way of how I feel. And regarding 6ix9ine, I done been chewed him up and said how I felt about the bullshit that he's been on. I don't think I said much before the recent snitching happened, but post-snitching and on and doing other little homework and finding out how that nigga got down in general, I've been wrote that nigga off as a goofball and a scumbag, and I got the videos to prove it. So, you can't just take one hit of a like button and say I co-sign that shit, when right next to it you got a whole body of work that I've done scrutinizing him for all the bullshit that he's done. But just like I said in this video, in addition to scrutinizing him, I scrutinize the entire playing field. I scrutinize all the players. It's not just limited to him. Oh, by the way, and if anyone is in this chat room and you're saying something, my bad, my apologies, shout out to everyone. It shows 0, but I know when I did a live on here on this thing before, it showed 0, but then on the replay, I saw people that were in the chat room. So my apologies for not recognizing and seeing y'all, if anybody up in here like that, you know what I mean? They keep saying connected to chat, and then it just don't say anything. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. I like anything, you know, like I said, I usually use likes to categorize, or on YouTube it works that way. Like, you know, go in your favorites, and then if you need to go back to the video, you can just go there and pull it up and everything. So that's pretty much why I like videos, and it just becomes a habit. So anything I watch on other platforms, Instagram, you know, it's just habitual. I do that. But yeah, no way am I like some big 6ix9ine supporter, any of that other type of shit like that. And I've got the body of work to prove it. All right. Let's take a look at the city before I get up out of here. Ooh, sundown may come soon. That could be a good thing for y'all to watch. The sundown in the city. Yeah, so let me take it off of me. Can I zoom? Yes, I can. I can't really see the sun as lovely as we want to see it. And the homeboy down there, they got the barbecue in. I'm here like, nope, I'm chilling. I actually went out earlier. I had to get some things. The hot weather is bringing people out. And it's going to be a frantic situation. For real. How long do it take for sundown to do sundown? It's a frantic situation. It's a frantic situation. At least I have a pillow now for my ass, because I'm sitting on the windowsill. before it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world. So I had to put a pillow up there. Yeah. Can we zoom into the sun? Pretend you're Icarus and we're going to the sun. How far can we zoom? You're gonna hit the sun very soon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna fly out away from it. Yeah. All right. That's about all I got. We gotta do this just to end it. Gotta do this to end it. Now I see a chat room. What up, James Gordon? Crime Scene Louis was good. Free Bird. All right, I'm trying to end this thing. I've been trying to end it ever since I stopped it. So yeah, I'll catch y'all later.